Film Addict. I am your host, the Film Doctor, and today we are going to be reviewing G.I. Jane 2, baby.
No, we're not.
What?
Chris Rock. Rock. We're not reviewing G.I. Jane 2.
We're not doing G.I. Jane 2 today?
No, we're not. G.I. Jane 2 costs $3.99 on Prime Video, and we're not paying for that. Anywho.
Till I get my gas money.
Listen.
Hey. That's why I'm filming from home.
You gotta expect your expectations higher than just $5 for gas.
I went up to 20, if that's fair.
But that was just because of inflation. And the boom. Sir.
Yeah, time. We have time. We don't have time. Do you need a cough drop or something? Or what?
And we are back to suck your blood. We are back in the attic with another film to dissect. It ain't hot. Morbius coming to us from theaters. You may go see this in another theater.
And without further ado, let's jump right into our movie review. I'm actually going to go ahead and do my review because you're going to trash it, the movie completely. You know, you give away whether you like it or not every time at the beginning to say hot or not hot, and I'm going to say, you can tell this is not a Disney movie, okay? That it was produced by Disney Studios or their other properties. You can tell that it's a 20th Century Fox, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man.
This is a Sony movie.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Sony, not 20th Century Fox. But the 20th Century Fox owns rights under it, doesn't it?
No, Disney now owns 20th Century Fox.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Shut up. Okay, so, anyway, so I don't really know anything about Morbius at all. I was like, is this a superhero or supervillain kind of movie? And, even after watching that, I guess I'm still kind of asking that question.
He's an anti-hero. There you go.
Sure. I think that the fact that he teleports like Nightcrawler made it a little bit difficult to follow the action of what was going on. But if that's his power, that's his power. It was just almost like a lot of crazy shit happening on the screen, kind of like Venom fights from the first Venom and the Carnage Venom. It's like, considering they're under that same production company or producing that, I don't know why they like that fast action. You're gonna have a seizure from everything that's flashing on the screen and punching like they're trying to create a Goku versus Vegeta scene with all the fucking fast moving action punching kind of things.
You're saying I'm gonna bury this movie just from the start of just you're burying it.
No, but I'm giving the bads and I'm giving the goods.
Out right now. Jimmy plays Morbius.
I think that Jared Leto is a genius actor. He's a little bit pale inside of this. Like they could have at least.
He's a vampire. Are you serious?
No, he was pale before he became a vampire. That was a problem. I'm gonna need somebody to put some makeup on his pasty ass skin before he became a vampire. That was already.
I actually think he got less pale when he became a vampire.
Well, whatever.
He was supposed to be sick, so I get the whole pale thing.
Whatever. He was too pale. He was lighter than Michael Jackson. So moving on. The fact that wow. It could have been worse. He could have had alopecia.
Oh my god.
Too soon. So as I was saying, is that the villain. I hated the villain. He just was cheesy. He pulled off. You can tell this was like that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. What the fuck was?
Again, I'm gonna bury. Let me take my glasses.
I didn't like him.
I'm gonna bury this movie, but so far
I didn't like his face.
Grave, you placed the headstone.
I didn't like his face. It's just something about his face and his look and him dancing and like what the fuck. I didn't like him. Music and storyline. Huh.
Yeah. want to hear you trying to justify this BS. Go ahead.
I mean, I see the storyline, and at the end, there's you know, we need to do a second movie and explain some things from the first movie. You know, I just felt like, yeah, this is an origin, but they were kind of jumping all over the place at some point with it, where it's like, hey, can we focus on that one story and not ask some new questions that are gonna fuck me up in the head? But like I said, for me, I still enjoyed it. I love Marvel-based movies, and this is a character I didn't know anything about. It was enjoyable to watch, to learn about this new character, but I think that the best part of it was understanding this setup towards, you know, future films based upon the end credit scene. I think that the end credit scene was a bigger sell for me than the character.
The whole premise of why you were there.
Okay.
Don't you find a problem with that?
Well, maybe they'll do more when they get to that point.
No. You are reviewing Morbius.
I didn't hate the movie though.
Not what's coming in the future.
I did not hate the movie. I did not think it was fucking terrible. There was some problems. There was some issues that we need to talk about and address, and we're addressing them. If I had to give this movie a grade, I feel like down in it to C-, considering I did somewhat enjoy it. Even though all the negative things that I pointed out, I'm gonna just give it a solid C average.
You think this movie was average?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're entitled to your wrong opinion.
Well, you're entitled to give your wrong one, so go ahead and jump right into it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start off like this, telling you guys a little story. Okay. So me and Michael walk into the theater.
Oh my God! Here we go with this
15 minutes early or whatever. Then the showing begins, and in my head, as we're going through the previews that we've seen 30,000 times at this point for all the movies that we know are coming out, I'm thinking, how are they gonna do this movie? You know, it's an origin movie. How are they gonna do this movie? Are they gonna start at the end and then flash back to the beginning? Well, then I thought about that famous line in the movie: the best movie you start in the middle, you progressively flash forward your way back to the beginning.
Who the fuck says that?
It was in a movie. I can't remember what movie, but
You're getting your knowledge from a movie. Okay. Someone wrote a script to that shit. You understand that, right?
That's what I'm thinking in my head of what they're gonna do.
Well, your head's a poor place.
As the movie starts, they start the movie not in the middle of the movie, not at the end of the movie. In some random spot in the story, we start. It's only connected by dialogue by the characters later in the movie.
Well, I didn't understand that scene anyway, and they didn't revisit it. Like, why did he go there to
this
do
movie
that?
Started off on the wrong foot.
Why did he need to cut his hand? Sorry for this kind of small spoiler, but why did he need to cut his hands to draw?
It's in the trailer. It's in the trailer. That's not a spoiler.
To draw in the bats, considering that he already can control them without blood.
Again, made no sense. We started off wrong. So we started off from, I guess they were trying to go, we're in the middle of the story, so now we're going to flash forward back to the beginning. No. Wrong off the bat. Story. Was there a story? First of all, here's where I'm going to really launch the ending of this movie. This movie was missing 30 minutes. It should have just been 2 hours. Just make it 2 hours so that way it makes sense. The way this movie ended, I looked over at him and I said, is that it? We can't be done. There's no way this movie is over.
Like I said, I think
it's not possible.
I think that maybe it was 2 hours, and when the studio, because the studio's the ones that cuts it down, maybe they cut it down to that hour and a half where shit was missing.
Well, they're wrong. I'm here to tell you, Sony and Columbia, you're wrong. Because you left the audience with a lot more questions than when they came into the damn theater. They had a lot more questions when they left. And the way this movie ended, I'm not gonna spoil it, but that ending, boo, boo. If I had tomatoes, I would throw them at the screen. Terrible.
If I had tomatoes, I would throw them at you.
Terrible ending to this film. Acting, okay. The villain, the cheesy villain. Oh my God. First of all, the whole story of how we get our villain, it is nonsensical. And then you can kind of see it why, but it's nonsensical. Furthermore, what I'll say is that the villain here was absolutely awful, terrible in every single way, cheesy from start to finish, just terrible. What the worst villain possible. Not good at all.
Apparently, you didn't see Abomination from the first Hulk. Was it the first Hulk?
He's worse than that.
I don't know if that's possible, but
it is possible because at least Abomination was all CGI. This was somebody actually doing this BS.
How are you going to How are you going to pair up this phenomenal actor Jared Leto with who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is he? Like, you should have had an on-screen duo of phenomenal actor chemistry between somebody that's phenomenal and someone's phenomenal.
First of all, yeah, and then the love interest. Okay, I get that, but
she should have been. She's the nobody too. I think that the main cast should have been big names: Jared Leto and two other big names for the girl and the villain. And this movie actually probably would have been sold great. And someone write the script differently.
This Matt Smith guy was in Spider-Man at some point. Last Night in Soho, he was in Star Wars. He's been in quite a few things, but
extra work? Was he an extra?
No, he was in the films as actual people. Who they are?
Extras are actual people. Just saying. They're not CGI.
You don't have speaking lines as an extra. He had speaking lines in his films. Anywho,
one or two.
He was bad here. He was absolutely bad.
Terrible.
There was nobody. Jared Leto did what he could with this script. I applaud him. I think whoever his agent is and him need to sit down and maybe have a discussion about picking better movies. Because he's wasting his talent here. I honestly think he is a really good actor. I think some of the scripts and some of the things that happen when he chooses these films do not work out in his favor. Well, and that's not to say that it's his fault. I feel like he's being constantly saddled with maybe bad studios or I don't know, but
I just hate the crossover. They're crossing over too much. Like, if he's gonna play Joker, focus on Joker. Why are we gonna do Joker and Morbius? Like, let somebody else get the limelight so you can focus on.
People have done both. I mean,
and I don't like that. It's stupid.
It's not an issue, but I just think he needs to do a better job of picking his films, and that's what I'll say. I didn't think he was terrible in this. I thought he was pretty good for what he had. Yeah, as far as the cinematography, I mean, some of the CGI in here too. Did you see some of the CGI in here?
Like I said, I was having an aneurysm from all the fast motion that was going on.
Some of the CGI in this movie, oh my god.
I mean, they tried to slow it down at points.
You can tell, like Michael said, you can tell when it's Disney and when it's Sony. So, I'll end with this final sample. This whole movie was to set up other movies. This whole movie was a waste of time.
Well, I don't think it's a waste of time because you said it yourself after the movie. You said that some of these characters have to be introduced. At some point, they're going to have to be introduced. And whether that's a standalone movie or they're inside of another person's movie, they have to be introduced. So
yeah, I understand that. And maybe Morbius should have been inside of somebody else's movie and not a standalone because this was hot garbage.
Before you give your rating, they have done anti-villain movies that were not a hit. If I'm looking at the Harley Quinn movie, Birds of Prey or whatever, terrible. So I mean, have they done any? No, they have. The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix, that was pretty good. Pretty good, Academy Award winning. So I say pretty good.
We'll see on Black Adam. We'll see how that goes.
We'll see how Black Adam goes. Deadpool is an anti-hero. He's not really a hero.
Is he?
Massive box office success.
Are you sure?
Deadpool is not a hero. He's an anti-hero. He's not a hero. He's not a hero. He's an anti-hero. He is. He's an anti-hero.
He was with the X-Men. So.
Look it up, Michael. I don't have to lie to you.
Yeah, well, I don't need to look it up. I'm just going based on what I know.
Deadpool is an anti-hero, and that was a massive box office hit. It's about how you do it and how you do the character. Unfortunately for us, because Deadpool is a massive box office hit, now we only get to see Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Well, that's all he can play.
So yeah, this movie was awful. It was garbage. It was a waste of my time. I could have saw the two post-credit scenes in the trailer and knew that what was coming was what was coming. This movie, I want an hour and 44 minutes of my life back. And when I say that, you know what's gotta happen.
You want an hour and 44 minutes? You want an hour and 44 minutes?
I want it back.
Well, guess what? Let me explain something to you. You want that time back? I don't know how many episodes of Film Addict we've done, but I want that many episodes back of filming with you. How about that?
Oh, okay. Well, you can defend this movie all you want to. This movie,
it's not that bad.
I would give it an F, but it is slightly entertaining, so I'm gonna go a solid D. Because it's bad.
It's not.
It's bad.
It's not. There are problems, but I think that's if you are going into it and looking at it to try and pick it apart. Like we're Film Addict, we're dissecting. No. Let me finish. We're going in there and we're dissecting. But somebody that wants something to just be entertaining, that they're not going to really look at all those different things, can they sit through it and be entertained? That's why I gave it an average movie. If it was something I really disliked because it was fucking terrible, then I would have given it a D too. But I was entertained.
Well, here's the thing. You don't give out failure grades. I give out failure grades. Because some things just fail. No, that's number one. Number two, I do analyze it from that lens, but I go in to be entertained. I had high hopes for this movie. I thought this movie was going to be good. And my grade isn't because of disappointment. It's just because of the fact that this was not good. I think somebody who is not like us, who's looking at the finer technical aspects, will go in and say, what did I just watch?
So then let me ask you this, because I think that the grade changes on two different levels. Number one, if you're just going into it to be entertained, and number two, if you're a fan of the Marvel Universe, and like a super fan of the Marvel Universe, and you go and see this movie. I think that the grades are going to vary. If you're somebody that's going to be entertained, if you're going to...
I don't even know that the super fans would be entertained by this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said two different grades, because if you're going into it just to be entertained, then you're going to give it a higher grade. But if you're a fan of it, then you are going to pick it apart.
Which is why I started at F. And then made my way to D. It moved up 2 grades. The entertainment value, there's some entertaining things in here. But overall, just as a general perspective, this movie does not make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense from the beginning. From the beginning to the end, it makes no sense.
I've never heard of this character anyway, Morbius. I've never ever heard of him.
It makes no sense. The ending is awful. Michael.
All right, I don't know how many times you can say awful and trash.
Can I just point this out before we wrap up? I'm not trying to spoil the movie, but there's a part in this movie where for the majority of it, he's getting beat up. And then now all of a sudden, now he can win. He's not even scary.
Why? And the question is, they have the same... Listen. They have the same abilities, but why is that other guy stronger?
Michael, thank you. You know what? Thank you for tuning in.
Well, I mean, I can give you an explanation. It's probably what they say. Maybe it's the difference on the different kinds of blood that you drink. That helps make you stronger. I don't know, but
and then the whole blood thing. The whole blue keeps me regular, red. You know what, Michael? I'm spoiling the film, so I'm gonna stop talking. We gave our grades on this. Sony, you're competing with Marvel, right? You're using Marvel titles. You're competing with Marvel. You're trying to make your own Sony Marvel universe, right? The SMU, I guess is what it's being called. Do better. That's all I can say.
Those are your final words. You're done. Mine are that it's not that bad, but let me know what you guys think inside of the comments. Do you agree that it's terrible, or that it's at least worth being entertained and being watched as a movie? Otherwise, that's all that we have for you guys today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell, do that jazz, send up some smoke signals, tie a little note to a picture's lace, send it on its way, put a little message in the bottle, throw it inside the water, let it reach our shores. And as always, this has been another exciting episode of Film Addict.